Easter and Mother's Day are right around the corner, and our customers are already looking for the perfect gifts, meals, and special offers. This is the perfect time to promote your business. When you advertise with The Observer, your message reaches the local community where it matters most. In a trusted local newspaper, on theobserver.com, in live videos, and across our social media platforms, giving your business powerful visibility. Whether you're promoting holiday specials, events, or seasonal products, The Observer helps connect your business with thousands of readers and shoppers. Make sure your business is part of our Easter and Mother's Day celebrations. Call 201-991-1600 today to reserve your spot in The Observer. Again, 201-991-1600. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 28th day of April in the year 2026. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesdays, no matter where it is you are in the country. Here in the Northeast, it's still a little chill in the air. It's 63 degrees right now in downtown Kearney, New Jersey, but we got so spoiled a couple of weeks ago when it got up to the 90s for a couple of days, and now it still feels like very, very early spring, or almost like it's autumny, really. So no matter what, hope you're enjoying your day today. It still could be a lot worse than this, and a lot colder and a lot snowier, so we're at least done with that part of the weather schedule for the year. As you do each and every Tuesday, welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news. But I want to kind of start off with something personal before we get into the news this week, because you may have noticed that last week I was not here with you, and that was because for the sixth time in 7 months, my mother was back in the hospital. And she this time was in Newton Memorial Hospital. Newton Medical Center is actually the official name of the hospital. And you think many of you recall that at first she had some serious heart issues. Now she was having issues with her kidney. And her kidney function was really, really serious, to the point where they had to do a biopsy. And though they didn't get the results of that biopsy yet, the good news is she's going home today, and she'll be going home, hopefully, I swear, for the last time, because I am so sick of hospitals and going into hospitals. Those of you who have had experiences where you've had to spend a lot of time in the hospital know exactly where I'm coming from. It gets to be very taxing after a while when you have to spend so much time in such a depressing place. But you see my mother's on the screen here. That's my stepfather, Mike. Mike has been nothing short of a hero to both of us. He's been at her side every day since her illness began. I was there all during the first week, and fortunately, I was able to come home, and she's doing significantly better now, thank God. So and don't underestimate the power of prayer, because I truly believe that has helped to get her to the place where she's able to go home today. So I apologize that I was not here with you last week, and I again have to say how blessed I am and how fortunate I am to have Lisa and Bob in my life, where I was able to spend an entire week with Mike and with my mother as she was getting better. And now I'm home, and she's going home, and I don't think I could be any happier to know that she's finally going to be home, and hopefully this will be the last time she has to go to a hospital in a while. She does have to get one more heart procedure. It's called a mitral valve clip, but that will be done sometime in June at Morristown Hospital. And we love the cardiac department there. If you've ever had any procedures done in Morristown, you know that their cardiology department is fantastic. So we'll deal with that once we get to it. But thank you all for your patience. Thank you for the prayers that you've offered for my mother, and I can't not thank you enough for all the support that I've gotten over the last week and a half, which has been a little bit of a taxing time. You don't realize it until you sit down afterwards and say, my God, this was really, really, really taxing. Now, before I move on, I see a bunch of people in the chat room I want to say hello to. First is my birthday sister, and that, of course, is Carol Manley. Good to see you, Carol. Please give my love to Mom. Eileen Matthey is here with us as well. Eileen is always watching us. I cannot thank you enough for that. My friend Gina Bianchi is here with us too. Gina, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well and everything is okay at work. And to anybody who may be watching in the background, we know you're here. I thank you for your presence here today for sure. And also Mayor Dan Pronti joins us now. He, of course, from the borough of North Arlington. Mayor Pronti, it is good to see you too. And thank you for popping in and for dealing with me talking about Mom today. Now, a bunch of things are coming up in the next couple of weeks. You know, it's going to be a very interesting time around here. And I also want to say hello to my buddy John Pino, who is also here. Thank you, John, very, very, very much. I appreciate it. This is a program that I've heard about in other communities. In fact, I think Belleville was the first in the towns that we cover to do something like this. But this is happening this and next week, where you can, if you have children in grades 3 to 5, have your kids walk to school with cops. And Jack Grimm told me about this a couple of weeks ago, and now here we are. In fact, I do apologize that we're a little bit late because the first walk to school was just this morning to Garfield Elementary. But you see on the screen that there are several other dates where this can happen. Schuyler School kids will walk on the 30th from Garofalo Park between Elm Street and Forest Street to the school. Roosevelt School on May 5th will start off at Bell Playground. Washington School will begin on May 6th from West Hudson Park and the Kearny Avenue stairs. And then Franklin School, May 7th, West Hudson Park on the Dukes Street side. So this is a great program. It really, really is. So I hope if you have kids in grades 3 to 5, you'll consider allowing them to do this. My presumption is that it's the community policing unit that will do this. So that's Ryan Brady, Jordan Miranda, and of course I'm drawing a blank on the other members right now too. So Janitza Aquino, and I believe there's one more too. So you forgive me. And Jack, of course, Grimm will be there too, I'm sure. So if you have kids in those grade levels on those dates, please be sure to send them over to those locations and let them walk to school with a police officer. Now, I also wanted to let you know and remind you that the PBA is having a raffle. And this raffle is special because it's in this week's paper, so check it out. But there's only a certain amount of tickets that the PBA is selling, and the winners are going to walk away with a great large screen TV. There's a 165 and the other, I believe, is 55 inches. And this is the PBA meeting. Claudius is running this. So please take a look at this week's newspaper. There's a challenge coin involved as well. So look at this week's newspaper in the news briefs, and you'll find all about this. But it's a great program that the PBA is doing, and all of the proceeds are going to go to the soccer tournament that will coincide with the FIFA World Cup being in the United States, and of course, with the final being in the state of New Jersey. It's a really good thing that the PBA is doing. So check it out in this week's edition. And later on, I'm going to post something again on our Facebook page just so that it stands as a reminder for what's happening with this fundraiser. But again, all the money goes to a really, really good cause. And I thank Mina for just reminding me about this as we were talking right here. This is coming up on Saturday from 9 until 11:30, the annual rabies clinic for the town of Kearny. The Board of Health, through Annie McNair, is putting this together. You see the fees that are being charged for this clinic. $21 for a non-neutered or non-spayed cat or dog, $18 if the pet is spayed or neutered. Cash and check or money orders made to the town of Kearny will be accepted. This is taking place. I want this to be very clear. This is taking place at the DPW lot 357 Bergen Avenue. This is not happening anywhere else other than the DPW lot. So please make sure that is where you go. There were some social media posts that suggested this was happening at Franklin School and other locations. That is not the case. Only at the DPW lot. You're going to have to get out of the car. This is not a drive-through clinic, as was the case a couple of years ago during COVID. This is an actual go. Get out of the car, spend time with some of your neighbors, and head on over there. Again, it's Saturday morning, starting at 9 o'clock till 11:30 at the DPW lot at 357 Bergen Avenue. To register, you can stop by the Kearney Health Department, which has been temporarily relocated to the new Health Department Annex, which is at 50 Belgrove Drive. That was the old police substation over there. So if you need to register, head on over there, and I'm sure Annie or somebody else from the Health Department will be there, and they will be able to help you. Now, this is kind of cool, coming up on Thursday, May 21st. I know we're a little bit ahead of this, but I want to remind you about this a couple of times as we get closer and closer to the parade. The Town of Kearney's annual Memorial Day Parade is set for the 21st of May, and it'll kick off from Locust Avenue. They'll be gathering at 6:30, and the step-off is at 7 o'clock, and proceeds from Locust to Bergen. And there's a reviewing station in front of the VFW and the American Legion. Councilman Jerry Facito is also a dear friend of mine, has been putting a lot of effort into this. He and Melanie, he got an assist from Melanie Ryan and a few others to make this a very memorable parade. And a lot of years when they have the Memorial Day Parade, it's when the unused snow days get used to make Memorial Day weekend a little bit longer, but that's not going to happen this year. So parents and teachers and students and everybody can certainly head on down to the parade this year, whereas in years past, people weren't able to do it because a lot of people would go away for the long Memorial Day weekend. And, of course, this is a special year because it's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. So it's going to be a very special event. Jerry has worked very, very hard to pull this together, and it's going to be unlike any other Memorial Day parade we've ever seen. So if you have the time, and you should, especially if you're a parent, because the kids are in school the next day, head on over to Belgrove Drive on May 21st to the annual Memorial Day Parade. It promises to be one of, if not the best, in the history of the town of Kearney, and I know you will not regret that, and paying respects to all of the people who lost their lives in the course of duty from the town of Kearney. Now, this is also coming up on Saturday, May 2nd. It is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's the Kearneyan Art Show reception, although I do remember somebody calling it the Carnissonian Art Reception once before. It is, in fact, Kearneyan. It's not a Carnissonian. Harrisonians are different. And it is at the Kearney Public Library. There will be different displays going on. You see the dates that are listed there at the museum. So if you're not doing anything Saturday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., head on over to the Kearney Public Library, go on up, see all of the beautiful artwork that will be on display, all created by residents of the town. And there will be winners picked from all of the entries for the Best in Show and things of that nature. Also, Saturday, May 2nd, a very busy day, Saturday, May 2nd. So if you don't have anything to do, you do now. The Arlington Players Club will be hosting its open house. It's clay court. It's over there at the Arlington Players Club. It's a beautiful setup. And on that date, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., they're hosting an open house. There's a lot of things happening at the Arlington Players Club. If you've never been there, stop by at some point during the open house, get a sense of what's going on, and I don't think you'll regret it. But again, that is coming up this weekend on Saturday, the 2nd of May, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop on by when you get a chance. And this, lastly, are two people who I know very, very well. This is Dylan Sullivan and Charlie Salcido. Both of them are members of the St. Cecilia's Knights of Columbus, and both of them became fourth-degree Sir Knights last weekend at a ceremony in Patterson, and so I wanted to congratulate my two fellow knights in Mr. Sullivan and Salcido for their ascension is fourth degree Sir Knights. Job well done to the both of you and to anybody who may have become a fourth degree knight in the last weekend. This week's front page, I didn't get to go. I wasn't available, obviously, because I was with my mother, but they had the second annual battle, cooking battle, and this was really cool because the kids all made cakes this time and pastries, things of that nature. So this is one of those joint ventures between the school system and the Kearney try this in English, the Kearney Urban Enterprise Zone, with Linda DeIsa behind all of it. And these kids in this culinary program, which I'm telling you, folks, if you have never seen what they do, is one of the best in the state of New Jersey. It really is. Those kids go in there when they're younger, and when they come out of there, they are so well prepared for the cooking world and going into culinary school, because the work of Mr. Caratura and also to the Barones is just second to none. And so this happened last week over at Kearney High School. They had this great event where there were a lot of dignitaries who came by, and then the top chefs were also awarded prize. I don't know if they got prizes, but there was a contest, and there were a couple of people who for over the last few years have owned businesses and restaurants in Kearney and the area who were judges of the entire program. So when you get a chance, check that out in this week's edition of The Observer. Last weekend was the DEA's, I think twice a year, Drug Take-Back Day, and in the town of Kearney, you see this picture right here. That's Under Sheriff Orlando Miranda on the left, Sergeant Jack Grimm in the center of the Kearney Police Department, and Mayor Carol Jean Doyle. Lots of unwanted prescriptions and medications were taken back. It's always a good day, and this happened throughout the entire state of New Jersey. But one of the good things about the town of Kearney is if you see that mailbox behind the mayor right there, that's there, and people who have unwanted medications that, because you're not supposed to flush them down the toilet, you should certainly not put them in, with the trash. You can stop over at Kearney Police Headquarters at any time of day and drop off unwanted medications there. So, and Melanie's just telling me right here that the drug takebacks are April and October. But again, you don't have to do it just then. You can take them back there anytime you want, thanks to that mailbox that has been there, believe it or not, for almost 10 years already. Hard to believe that, indeed. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking on the broadcast about Paul Haggerty becoming the deputy chief of the Lyndhurst Police Department. Well, earlier that morning, on the day that he ascended to the deputy chief's position, there was a terrible incident in Lyndhurst. A gentleman was to be served a Union County warrant, I believe, for murder. And when the police arrived, it was Lyndhurst, along with the the Essex, the Union County prosecutors. The guy barricaded himself inside the house and ultimately took his own life. So we have some of the details, as gory as it is. We don't often talk about suicides, but we have not named the suspect and anything of that nature. But that was the way Paul Haggerty started off his day when he became deputy chief, and it was just a very, very unfortunate incident that the man took his own life and did not surrender at that point. So that's that. Now, my dear friend Melanie Ryan has a very, very good op-ed this week where she explains all the reasons why having Airbnbs in the town of Kearney, short-term rentals, why they will not and could not work based on the regulations that are already in place. I'm begging all of you, for the people who have not paid close enough attention to what's happening with this, with the World Cup coming to MetLife Stadium and things of that nature, Read this story. It starts on page 4 and connects on to page 17. Melanie spells it out from start to finish, why it could never really be a thing in the town of Kearney, and why you really shouldn't, if you are a property owner, take the chance and risk getting caught by renting out your home for as an Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever the hell those other sites are. So thank you to Melanie for putting this together and for writing this and for sharing it with us. And I believe she has some comments on social media already on her own page that you can certainly read more about when you have that opportunity. Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories this week, as he does every week, including this incredible story of a young man who threw a no-hitter while striking out 19 batters. That is absolutely impressive. I'm not going to tell you any more because I want you to read all about it. Now, this is a story of a young man from the township of Belleville who won a $20,000 scholarship through the Coca-Cola Company. Very, very cool stuff there. Lyndhurst had another arrest using those automated license plate readers. I'm telling you, people still go through and they drive through with suspended licenses and cars and things of that nature. But if you do that, you're going to get caught, especially in Lyndhurst, because the cameras are everywhere. Oh, also Saturday, May 2nd, Tom Fraser does this every year. He did it last year, and he's being joined this year by Joanne Dolan, another dear friend. They're selling their books at the Salvation Army. Tom bought the books. He's read every single one of them, and every single one of them is a best-selling book. So he did a sale last year, did very well. He's still got more, including some new ones this year. So if you are a best-selling book reader and you want to get them a little bit cheaper than you would if you had gone over to Barnes & Noble or used Amazon or anything of that nature, come on over to the Salvation Army Saturday, May 2nd, after you go to the tournament, the tennis club, and all the other things that are going on. Check all that stuff out, and you'll be able to buy some books at a reasonable price from Tom Fraser, and Joanne Dolan will be there to help. And when you have Joanne Dolan and Tom Fraser doing something together, it's always going to be entertaining. So please check that out. I have a couple of photos here. One is of Marty Nystrom being sworn in as the exalted ruler of the Belleville and Kearney chapter of the Elks, Lodge number 1050, a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations to Marty. For full disclosure, I am a member of the Elks. I want to make sure everybody knows that. And the Women's Club Evening Membership Division had an incredible shower, which they put on every year and donate to the Salvation Army so that women who are less fortunate and cannot afford necessarily buying diapers and supplies for their children get them for free. So thank you to the Women's Club. Pat Sherwin, Carol Putcher is in there, and to everybody else who was involved with that special shower. This is a political ad. You can see that on page 13. 2 pages of classifieds. So if you're looking for a place to rent, 3 pages of classifieds actually. This is the biggest classified we've had in years. Look at it, 3 pages. So there's plenty of jobs, plenty of apartments. If you're looking for a place to rent and things of that nature, check them out on pages 14, 15, and 16. And this was really neat. Last week, the Kearney Police Department, for the first time in 27 years, got together for a full-force photo. There were a few people who weren't there, but I want this to be very clear in case anybody wonders. When they were taking this photo, the Kearney Police Department was being patrolled by both the North Arlington Police Department, thank you to Chief Scott Horton, and by the Hudson County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, of course, to Sheriff Jimmy Davis and Under Sheriff Orlando Miranda, who is a Kearney resident. Chief McPhee wanted me to make sure that that was clear. At no time was Kearney not being patrolled. They made an arrangement, did Scott McPhee, with Chief Horton and with Sheriff Davis, and everybody was safe while they had this opportunity to take that incredible photo of every single police officer for them. Well, just about every single police officer. Melanie knows in the chat room it wasn't 100% attendance, but there was a pretty good percentage of members of the department who were, in fact, there. And lastly, this week, Alexander Reese is a senior, I believe, in Kearney High School, 17 years old, and he's doing his Eagle Scout service project. And to do so, he's collecting glasses and hearing aids. The entire story is right here on page number 18. I hope you will read that, because this is an important project to him, because his great uncle lost his eyesight when he was young, so it's near and dear to his heart. But collecting glasses and collecting hearing aids will help so many people who are in need of vision, improved vision, who can't necessarily hear and cannot afford these hearing aids. So Alex is doing this project, and it's an extremely beneficial project. So we wish Alex all the best. He, of course, is in troop number 305, St. Stephen's Boy Scout troop. That troop is just incredible. They do so many great things, but this is one of the neater Eagle Scout projects that we've seen in a long time. And Alex is a true gentleman. He called, he asked for help to get the word out. How do you say no to something like that? And that's it. It was a lot to get in this week, but I appreciate you all being patient with me as I went through all these different bullet points, and I especially thank you all for your patience last week. Before I sign off, I want to take a look at the chat room. I see Al Grinnell is here. Melanie Ryan is here. Tony Marinero is here, too. Good to see you, buddy. What a joke with the Mets, man. It really is a mess. I mean, I don't know how Carlos Mendoza is still the manager. The Phillies fired Rob Thompson today, and the Mets, for some reason, are sticking with this guy, even though the two teams have the same record. But boy, oh boy, talk about this. I don't remember the last time that I rooted for a team, and at the end of the day, the team, I just got distracted. I'm sorry. Can you hold on a second? Lisa, what was that? I'm on the air. What's the matter? Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Lisa wanted to remind me of something and did it very strangely. I don't know what. It was kind of funny. I have to get my train of thought together, because I was completely thrown off by that. While I was away, there was another swatting incident in Harrison schools. And I got to be honest with you, folks. It's starting to get a little bit out of hand now, because this has to be the 10th time this has happened, where there was a swatting incident. And we've talked about it on this airway. And whenever we talk to the chief of police, he has always told us, rightfully, that they're working on this. But this keeps happening. There are more and more swatting incidents that are happening at Harrison High School than I can even care to remember. So, it's getting to the point right now where we have talked about it so many times here, and we're not getting clear answers from the Harrison Police Department. We're not getting clear answers from the prosecutor's office if they're involved. We don't know if they're involved. We presume they are. And we're certainly not hearing anything from the FBI if the FBI is involved. But this is a very, very serious situation that may at some point turn into something a lot worse than just a fake call. If people are down on their guard, if people are not giving it the thought that it should, because we've been through it so many times. So we wanted to let you know that we will continue to follow up on this and try to get some kind of answer, but we just don't know if that's going to happen, because the first incident that happened was in September. The first swatting incident was in September, and apparently there was another one last week, and there have been so many in between. If you're a parent of a Harrison High School student, we would love to hear from you, because we don't even know what you guys are being told, to be frank, about these incidents that are happening. We just don't know. So if you happen to be the parent of a Harrison High School student and would be willing to speak with us, Our numbers, 201-991-1600. Give us a call. We want to help in any way possible, but we're just not getting anywhere. So if anybody knows of anything, if you want to ask questions or if there's something you want to talk about to us about, give us a call and we will do our best to get to something. Let me just continue with anybody else. Luis Soto is here. Jerry Facito is here. Carmen De Jesus is with us. Gene Hearn, John Pino, Dan Pronti, who I saw earlier. Of course, Carol Manley, Gina Bianchi, Eileen Matthey. Thank you all for being here. That's going to do it for this edition of the Observer Live. I want to thank all of you who are here for joining us. We will be back 1 week from today, unless anything breaks during the course of the week. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Canessa signing off for now. We hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.